My name is Maysa, Maysa. I'm a tour director working for EF, and I'm Egyptologist. I had master's degree. I represented Egypt in the United Nations, and I have been with three presidents of states. One of them, the one of Argentina, and the one of Chile, and the one of Colombia. So I have the experience with presidents of states, and also with famous people.
How long have you been a tour guide?
I have a long time and I have a lot of experience. I worked for EF. Now I'm completing 20 years.
20 years?
20 years of experience
20
with,
years
with, EF.
with EF?
With EF. Can you imagine? I say.
What inspired you to want to become an Egyptologist and a tour guide?
It was by accident. I was attending a conference and I was hearing about not the history. I loved the history since I have been a child, but I heard about the monuments and I was seeing some beside what already I saw when I was a child. I mean the pyramids and the Sphinx. Of course, it had been a dream for us, also the people who are living here. So when I attended this conference, I felt that I have been attracted totally to the monuments and started to study deeply. And I finished my career very fast because I loved it so much. So I had to work very hard, like 18 hours a day to be one of the tops.
What does it feel like to be able to teach your country's
Yeah.
history and culture to other students from around the world?
Yeah, I love so much to present my country through my eyes to the students from everywhere. I love people in general, and I feel proud of our history and our monuments. I'm not depending on books only. I study very hard, but I'm always depending on my research, on my contemplation and the observation. That's why I'm enjoying so much when I'm explaining something which is not written in books, that the people, they don't see it until I refer to it and explain it. So I feel proud when I'm talking about our history to the students and to the travelers coming to visit our country.
Throughout our trip so far, can you describe why you picked some of the temples and ruins and things that we have visited so far?
Yeah, always I'm choosing the best thing and let's say the very distinguished scenes and the reliefs. My aim is not repeating and being boring history. No. I'm just choosing from every temple special scenes that you can't see it in another one. I'm not explaining as a routine system or according to what is written in the book or copying the text of the book. No, every time I'm using a different style of explanation, and that's why I feel that the people are enjoying so much as I'm doing.
There's so much history here.
Yeah.
And it's really amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever have noticed this, but people from America, especially African Americans, they really love the country of Egypt for a number of reasons.
Yes.
Because of religious reasons.
Yes.
And when they think of Egypt, they think of Black excellence.
Yeah.
But during my time here, I am realizing that Egypt is in a region where there's so many other countries and continents and other cultures nearby, and it creates Egypt, and Egypt is its own thing. And can you just talk about what it's like? I guess what it's like. Have you ever felt like African Americans have a strong love for Egypt?
Yes. First of all, we are natives. We are African, like you. We feel proud when we are receiving also African regions, people coming from America. Well, frankly speaking, personally, I like them so much. And I had the experience with African American ones. Always, they are very lovely people. They are very kind people. They are like us because they are from the same continent and the same land. And let's say the traditions are very similar. So we feel like brothers. We feel like the same blood. I don't feel that I'm talking to foreigners. So no, I'm talking maybe in English language, but I'm talking with families, let's say. I think our continent, not I think, it is fact. Our continent, Africa, it's very rich of a lot of things. Not only, let's say, people, which are always very kind people and very nice people, but also it is rich of history. It is rich of nature. It is rich of minerals. It is rich of a lot of source. That's why it had been attracted by the emperors, and that's why they conquered Africa. And still, until now, Africa under the control of some of the big countries or the important countries, as we know. So Africa is rich continent, and the people who are living there, they love their roots. They love their traditions. I had the experience with two young ladies. They were also African, and they came here, and they impressed me when they asked me, Maysa, we are looking for our origin. Maybe we are from Egypt, maybe we're from Sudan. We don't know, but we are looking for our origin. Can you imagine? They touched my heart so much. So also they are new generations, and let's say 10 generations past, but they still thinking about the origin, which is Africa. So I love Africa so much. I love my land so much, and I love African people, of course. And in general, I love people. But when you feel that you are with your friends, with your family, is something different for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about not a lot of the buildings, but some buildings in Cairo. I remember that you said that they were unfinished, but I don't remember why.
Yes, I'll tell you something. Concerning Cairo, it's different than Upper Egypt, or different than here, for example. In Cairo, unfortunately, some of the people, some of the farmers, they destroy their agricultural land to make buildings. And as they are not rich enough, they didn't finish all the building, and at the same time, the infrastructure it is not until now entered in their buildings. That's why the majority of them are unfinished. But those, they are looking for business. While in Upper Egypt, when we see the same unfinished houses, don't think about business. They are thinking about the future of their kids. They are constructing stories according to the number of their children, and also according to their income. Sometimes they don't have enough money to finish it, so they leave the irons in the surface of or let's say on the roof of the building, and when they have enough money, they continue constructing the story or new floor for their kids. Sometimes they leave it as it is unfinished until the kids, they grow up and they choose the design of their apartments.
Oh.
So this is a traditional or traditions in Upper Egypt, and they feel proud of having this as a proper house of them. So they don't sell to anyone. They are living as families. And that's why when we see this in Upper Egypt, we can't say that this is exactly as we see it in Cairo. Cairo is different.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yes.
It's giving their family freedom
Exactly.
to do as they please.
Exactly, and at the same time, they feel very, as you said, very peaceful. They feel very stable. Even if they have a very limited income and they are not rich enough, or let's say they don't have enough money, they are not worried about tomorrow or about the next month, because they are not forced to pay anything at the beginning of the month.
They still have shelter in the house.
Exactly.
And if they want to, they can still decide to finish it later.
Yes, 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 yes. So this is very traditional in Upper Egypt.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah. Take your time.
It's just a very beautiful. Oh, I wanted to ask you. When we went to that restaurant.
Yes.
And
the first one or the second one?
The second one with the famous chicken.
Ah, yes, yes.
I saw a lot of signs that said New Cairo.
Yes.
And it was spelled differently.
Okay. Yes.
How do you feel about that? What does that mean?
Well, they call it New Giza because it is located in the governorate of Giza, which is the west bank of the Nile. Well, they call it New Giza because it had been arid area without any building, desert, totally desert. And I can say that like maybe 15 years ago or something like that, they decided to make a university over there. Once the university started to work, the people started to be interested in the site, thinking about the future and about being this area as more expensive than the time of buying the plots. So the restaurant where we had our dinner, as the second day of our tour, they had a restaurant close to the pyramids. It was famous and also nice, very nice, but the owner of this restaurant had been a smart one when he was thinking about buying a plot bigger than the site of the restaurant when he had his restaurant close to the pyramids, the area of the pyramids. He decided to have a very big restaurant, and he bought the land cheap price, and now his restaurant is much more successful. Also, it is very far away from the area of the pyramids, and it is exist in the outskirts of Giza. But because he's famous, because they offer a very special type of chicken, they prepare it very special way, so they became more famous than before, and this restaurant is always crowded. If you remember, I will remind you that I said we will arrive late because of iftar, which is breaking the fast, because we are during the month of Ramadan now. So the fasting time is the breakfast, let's say, for Muslims, start with the time of the sunset, which is nowadays is 6 o'clock. So I said to you, we'll arrive not before 7:30, because for sure at 6 o'clock it will be full and it will be crowded and no space for us. That's why I determined to make have our dinner at 7:30, because it was always crowded, and it is always crowded. I'm just giving the example of this restaurant because after making this restaurant, another they came and they made restaurants also, and another they bought plots to make new buildings. Until nowadays, I can't say that it is a place where you can find a lot of entertainment or a lot of buildings. No, it is limited, but I think this is the future of Giza, and maybe in few years it will be crowded. So New Giza, it's a new area, and it is located in the outskirts of Giza.
And New Giza, in addition with the new coming soon gym museum,
Yes.
will be great for Giza and Cairo, Egypt in general.
Yes, maybe because of the name, that's all. But it is far away from the gem, or which is a new museum. The new museum, it is located only 2 kilometers away from the pyramids. But concerning New Giza, it's far away. So if there is no traffic, you lost at least half an hour to go there. If there is no traffic, with the traffic, of course, it's gonna be more. But in general, New Giza is like New Cairo, because we have another area which had been converted into a residence area, and it was also desert. So now it is full, or let's say it is crowded area, and we call it as New Cairo. New Cairo is very far away from downtown, but we have a lot of people living over there. So new and new and new, this is means that we are extending the surface area of Cairo, and always in the outskirts of Great Cairo.
Are you excited for the gym museum to officially open to the public?
Until now, we don't have exact dates. We don't know exactly. Every time they are saying after 2 months, after 3 months. We expected to have the museum already opened during 24, at the beginning of 24, but they said at the middle of 24, and at the end they said in December 24. But now we are in March, and this still soft opening, or still experimental opening, as they call it in Arabic language. In Arabic language, they call it افتتاح تجريبي, which is experimental opening. This is the translation of the phrase in Arabic. I'm not sure about the dates, and I can't say any date because as expert in the field, I see that they still until now constructing, and the area around it's full of a lot of works. So they are making the subway, and I think it will be wrong to open it now because the area is surrounded by a lot of works, and the building itself, it's not finished 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite thing besides what's been your favorite thing that you have taken us to so far on the trip?
I love Saqqara. I love Saqqara so much. I love the old museum. The old museum is full of masterpieces. You didn't see it yet, but once you are with me, you will see what I'll offer you. We have a beautiful artifacts over there. We have a masterpieces. So I feel very happy and very, let's say, I feel that I have honor to have these artifacts dated to ancient time, and that they are like done yesterday. They are very, very, very beautiful, not only because of the maintenance, but also because of the finishing, because of the perfection in every detail. So I promise you will enjoy it so much when we go back to Cairo and we see the old museum. So my favorites, they are these two. I love them so much.
My dad sent me some questions to ask.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's here? Oh. Oh, it's okay. He's trying to.
Yeah, no problem, no problem.
Okay, so one question that my dad asked is, who is your favorite pharaoh and why?
Well, very good question. Very good question. Uh, of course, I love the powerful one, the one who made Egypt very rich, and Egypt was controlling a lot of let's say surface area in Africa and in Asia. So my favorite one is Thutmose III.
Right.
Yes. But if I'm talking about arts, I love so much Abydos, which it's a place which has a lot of reliefs, a lot of colors, and it is in perfect condition. It is maintained 100% as in the past, still until now, perfect. If I'm talking about monuments and quantity of monuments, of course, Ramses II. Ramses II left for us a lot of monuments, a lot of statues, a lot of temples. Everywhere you see Ramses II. So I love this part of Ramses II. And Abu Simbel, of course, Abu Simbel have been done by order of him also. So Ramses II is great pharaoh if we are talking about the quantity of monuments that he left for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I asked her about the unfinished buildings, and I asked her what was her favorite pharaoh.
What did she say?
She said for the unfinished buildings, it's actually some people they build the buildings and then they leave them unfinished so their children, when they become of age, they can design their apartment how they like. And also, it just gives them security so they can have shelter and they'll finish it when they get the rest of the money.
Oh wow.
So it's a combination of things.
Yes, yes,
But
yes,
overall, pretty
yes.
Okay. Hmm. So my question was, why do other countries have excavation societies in Egypt? Is that normal? Like I saw one for Poland.
Uh,
Hatchet.
well, very good question, very smart question. We have to acknowledge also that the first one who were interested in our monuments have been Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte, of course, he conquered Egypt and he wanted to take as maximum as he can with him to France. And this part is negative for us because they already took a lot of our monuments. But we have to say also that with Napoleon Bonaparte, we started to be interested in our monuments. We started to be caring, or we started to take care, let's say, of our monuments. And the people from the rest of the world, they started to concentrate in Egypt and to come to Egypt to see the monuments. Of course, Egypt in that time, it was under the control of the French and after that the British. So we were weak and we haven't been able to protect our monuments. So they took a lot of our monuments, the British and the French, to their countries, and we tried to get it back recently, but no way. But anyhow, because of the experience of them, they offered to come and to excavate and to cooperate with the Egyptians. So the government is welcoming any other country to come and to cooperate. And of course, we gave some as gift for them. But this nowadays, it is happening from in Luxor, we have in Saqqara also. But the majority of the people who are working excavation now, they are 100% Egyptian, not as in the past. But still, some they are cooperating with them, with us, like German and like American, like also Polish ones.
Is that a big industry in Egypt, working in excavation and being an Egyptologist? Or what are some of the main...
No, this had to be under a very, let's say, tough instructions. No one can excavate without being professional and having the license. You have to get the license and you have to excavate under the control of the government. And of course, the government is not going to give anyone permission if you are not forming a part of the government. I mean, if you are belonging to the Ministry of Tourism or the Department of Antiquities, in this case, the Department of Antiquities will send you, but not you. You will offer your, let's say, papers to get the permission. No, the system is different totally. So this has to be always through the government, and the government is the one who is deciding that this group go to excavate in this site or the other site. So it is 100% official.
Did you ask her about how she started this job? Was it a hobby? Okay, I thought
Yeah.
All right, I have a question.
Sure.
So I was a 6th grade teacher and I showed videos and taught about Egypt, but I have a question. So I was taught, I read somewhere that copper was the hardest substance known at that time. Is that true? Because I want to know what were the chisels made out of? Were they made out of copper or?
Very good question. Very good question. Copper was discovered long time ago.
Okay.
I can say prehistoric time, before the beginning of the history itself in Egypt. So we have some they are made of copper, and we have a lot made of hard stones. Hard stone like what? Like granite stone,
Granite.
basalt stone,
Okay.
schist stone. We have this, and the ancient Egyptian, they were cutting with these sharp stones. They
Okay.
made it like knives. They made it like big balls to carve and to cut the stones. And they used it to use harder stones when they were cutting another stone. I mean, if they are cutting, for example, limestone, they use granite stone or basalt stone. It's equal because both of them, they are harder than the limestone. So this had been the system, and we discovered a lot of these, let's say, these tools. They are made out of stone, pure stone, and plus the copper also.
Okay. So some of the bigger pieces, like a Ramses, the solid pieces, did they come from one particular spot, or did they come from different areas?
Well, very good question. Maybe you didn't pay attention when I was explaining in front of the Great Pyramids that in the same area of the pyramids, the two pharaohs, which is father and son.
Okay.
The father choose a quarry, and the son choose another quarry.
Okay.
That's why the quality of the same, let's say, type of stone, which is limestone, is different. Okay. So they were choosing from place to another the quarries, depending on whom, depending on the pharaoh himself, depending on the architects. They were looking for good quality, and they were changing from place to another. Okay.
We can hear you when you say okay. You just.
All right, I'll just stop saying okay. You're welcome. What do you really think happened to Hatshepsut?
To Hatshepsut.
What do you really think happened?
I think someone had been after her because we discovered some text erased already and damaged already. You see the rest of the text in perfect condition, but a part of this text, it's damaged. I think it was like a revenge, maybe jealous, who knows. Because also the end of her had been suddenly Hatshepsut disappeared from the history. And we see also in some documents that we discovered that the name of Hatshepsut is not written among the other names of the pharaohs. This means that the one who mentioned this, he didn't like her, or he didn't want to mention her. Maybe because, as I said before, she was a female. And according to the law of ancient time, all the pharaohs had to be always men. And maybe because of this reason, they tried to finish with the history of Hatshepsut and to conceal what happened during her era, maybe.
Let's see if I have any more questions. The mummification process, was it true that they removed the brain through the nose?
No. Well, yes.
Okay.
Yes, the brain from the nose. Yes,
Okay.
yes. They remove. Yes, they moved from the brain from the nose, and they were very professional. They used a metal like hook, and the one who was doing this process had to be the chief of all the team of mummification. Mummification, it was extended in Egypt because all the people, or all the people who had faith in this mythology wanted to make the mummification for their relatives, for the dead ones. So the people who were working in this had been a big number. And according to your profession, according to your skill, if you are very skillful, of course you are able to take out the brain perfectly without leaving inside the crown anything. Because can you imagine if the skull has a part of the brain inside? This means that the mummification could be deteriorated within few time. So always the one who was doing this part of the mummification had to be the most professional one of all the team. Yeah.
I have one last question.
Yes.
The natron that they used, did they get that from where did that come from? Did that come from, it was like a salt solution, right? the natron that they use to put the linen in, did that come from the Bank of the Nile? Where did that come from?
The natrum?
Yes.
The natrum, if you are referring to the natrum, which is the salt, okay, until nowadays we have a place which is named as Wadi Natron, because from there they had the best quality of natron in ancient time.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a sea. Can you imagine? So the ancient Egyptian, they knew that over there is a big source of salt and the best quality of salt. So they used it to bring the natron from this area, which until nowadays has the same name as ancient time, Wadi Natron, or the Valley of Natron.
Did it wash up on the? I mean, did it wash up on the shore?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes.
And it still exists today.
No, not
Okay.
as before. Not
Okay.
no, for sure, no, for
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
That's why you are wondering how
Right.
they discovered this and how they got this from this area, which is nowadays you can't find any salt over there. So we are wondering, but in general, they used to bring the natron from this area.
I have a question.
Sure.
So I noticed in some of the tombs and some of the really sacred places that we had the opportunity to go to, people were kind of, even the temples, they were kind of etching their names or symbols and things into these sacred destinations that
Yes.
we went to. Like they were marking their own names.
Yes, yes.
How do you think that Egypt is trying to, or if they are, to help to protect these things from that happening?
Yes, unfortunately, as I said before, Egypt had been under the occupation for a certain time, and it was weak. So the foreigners, they were able to go to this place and to cut and to write their names. We see this in some monuments, and you see the date, for example, 1822, 1835, and so on, and there's the name David something. Those are travelers who came to Egypt, and they left their names and dates when Egypt had been weak, and we didn't, let's say, controlled every place because monuments are everywhere in Egypt. So the system of antiquities or protecting the antiquities, it wasn't worked yet. That's why we see that some of these monuments has the name or have the name of some foreigners and the Egyptians also later on. But nowadays everything is under control, so you are not able to write on any wall. But until nowadays, I can say, unfortunately, we don't have sufficient guards to protect the sites because sometimes the people are touching. I know they want to fill. They are not them. They don't have the bad intention of making or harming the monument or let's say affecting the monument negatively. No, I think they are touching to feel that this is relief and they won't feel it. But of course, with passing of time, this affects so much the monuments. I have the experience in Saqqara, for example, in some tombs and in the Valley of the Kings. Because of a lot of touching, we lost a lot of colors and the reliefs, unfortunately. And this, I'm not talking about 100 years, I'm talking about 15 years ago or something like that. So, we need to protect our monuments more than now. Yeah.
I do have one last question.
Sure.
So we've seen people take sand and rocks, and I mean, and we just feel like it's disrespectful. I mean, what are your thoughts as far as?
Well,
I mean, how do you?
Well, if I'm seeing someone taking sand from the Valley of the Kings or sand from the area of the pyramids, I'm not worried about it because we have a lot of it.
Okay.
We have a lot of sand, tons of sand. If they are taking a piece of stone or something like that on ground, no problem because we have a lot of. So this nothing is important, and I understand. But if they are cutting from a monument a piece, of course this is criminal, and of course we don't accept it at all. But on ground, if you find a stone because it fell from a wall or something like that, no problem because we have a lot of this, so no problem at all.
I have a question too.
Sure.
And I know you talked about it already, but I just wanted for the camera. You told us about how when you were reading the stories to us, sometimes you go from left to right, right to left,
Yes.
down,
Yes.
up.
Yes.
How were you taught, or how did you study to be able to read these amazing stories to be able to share with travelers like ourselves?
Well, I'll tell you something. This is my character. I mean, I have been very careful when I have been a child. I was studying and reading. I love so much knowledge. I love so much reading, studying. I was always first, okay? So when I was thinking about this career, when I started to study, I studied it very seriously. Why? I read a lot of books and I made a lot of searches and I, I wanted to be myself, not the book of this author or repeating what is written in the other book. I'm very creative in this matter. I mean, I love so much to change from time to another the style of explanation. According to what? According to the site, according to what I'm seeing more. So I don't like to repeat what I'm saying all the time. I'm always creating a new style and I'm seeing something different. That's why I don't like that anyone is hearing me and is repeating what I'm saying exactly. I have colleagues that they are, unfortunately, but I want to be myself, not as Maysa only, but also as Egyptologist and as one who is explaining the monuments and the history. Same case concerning the site itself. Sometimes I arrive to the site and I find a crowd, and I want to start it this way. Okay, if I see the crowd, I start the other way. If I see colleague explaining this, I'm moving according to the situation, according to the place, and according to what I'm seeing. Sometimes when I see that the people are very interested in colors, for example, I will concentrate in colors and will take them to see more and more. And sometimes you see that the people are interested in history, so I'll give them more and more. But of course, I can explain all the day, but you don't know if the one who is hearing you can hear or want to hear a lot. And I'm keeping in consideration all the time that you have a limit also, as me. If I'm staying in the museum explaining for 4 hours, it will be boring for you and very tired. That's why I'm just choosing the masterpieces and I'm explaining until I feel that you are tired. So in this case, I finish. I'm always looking to present the best of the best in everything. And that's why I'm moving and I'm changing my style and I'm moving from place to another. You said it was
Anything
12.
else that you would like to add?
Yes, I would like to tell all the Americans and I would like to tell all the people in all over the world that we are a beautiful country. We have a beautiful country and believe me, we have no terrorism at all. This is the media, so don't feel worry about coming here because something would be happen. No, no, no. Never Egypt have been a place where you can see conflicts. No, we are very peaceful people and we have a very rich country full of monuments and full of history, and also the people are very kind. We love foreigners, we love tourists, and we love Americans. So please come and visit us. You will be most welcome, and you will see by your own eyes that here is totally different that you can imagine, and maybe you hear in the news something happened. No, no, no. This is, believe me, is the media. and the media is confusing the people according to the interests also, of course. But here we are living peace. We are living in peace totally, and nothing happened. You had the experience already in Cairo and then some places in Upper Egypt, and until the end of the tour, you will feel that you are at home. So come to your second home, to Egypt, and they will be will be most welcome, and they will welcome you with open arms.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Huh? You want to?
Okay, I have a question. Last question.
Sure, please do it. Please.
So we came here during Ramadan. I know some people in our group partake in Ramadan, but with us being different religions, we were like, okay, wanting to learn more about it. What are some of your favorite customs when celebrating Ramadan?
Well, I love Ramadan. I love the month of Ramadan so much. And all the Egyptians, I guess Muslims also, they love Ramadan. We call it, when we are greeting the others because of the coming Ramadan or Ramadan, it will start the next day or next week, we say Ramadan Kareem. What the meaning of Ramadan? Ramadan is the name of the month, okay? And the Kareem means generous. We call the Ramadan as generous because during the months of the Ramadan, the people, they love do good deeds. They love help the poor. They love feed the others, even if the others are not poor. For example, you saw it already when we have been in the area of the pyramids, when we have been very close to the time of the sunset, which is the time of the breakfast for Ramadan. We saw a lot of tables and a lot of crowd have been over there. These tables are placed in certain places, and they write above these tables the table of the most merciful. When you see that this is written, this means that you can sit and you can enjoy eating for free and drinking for free, everything for free. Because of what? Because of the love of Allah. You love Allah and you love do good deeds. And we are here in this planet on earth to help each other. Maybe I have been lucky one because I raised in wealthy family or middle class family. So I have to think about the poor one. I have to share with him love. He is human like me. So the people, they love so much to feed the others and to feed especially the poor people. So the poor people, they feel very happy during the months of Ramadan because they can get their meal every day for free, and not any meal. Believe me, very good meal. Chicken or meats, soup, vegetables, fruits, everything you will find it in the table of the most merciful. Some of us also, we love so much to make a bag full of food. For example, you prepare fish or you prepare chicken. So you put chicken with potato or with rice and with soft drink plus water plus dates plus fruits, and you make a complete meal for these poor people. So you go in the street and you start to give them before the time of breaking the fast, I mean the breakfast for them. So like 15 minutes or half an hour before the time of the breakfast for Muslims, you will find this a lot. And you find in Cairo or in Giza, some they are stopping with their cars and they have a lot of these bags. So they started to give. So people, they love so much this. Plus this, it is a month where the family and the friend, they gather. During all the year, Maybe you have your lunch in different time than your brother because your brother has some business or has some classes, so you are not in the same time. But during the months of Ramadan, all together we are eating in the same time. That's why at the same time, when you go out in the street, you will find the street empty because all they are gathering and they are eating together. Also, among friends and between friends, we share. We sometimes I invite you, and maybe the next week or the next day you invite me. So it's a lot of friendly feeling, a lot of peace of feeling. We love it so much, and personally I love it so much because of this, because of the good deeds, and because I forgot something which I wanted to add. As Muslims, we believe that if you are doing a good deed, especially during the months of Ramadan, you will be multiple reward by whom? By Allah. So Allah promised us to give us more and more and more when you are fasting and when you are helping the others. So I love Ramadan so much, as I guess all the people here. Okay. No.
So much.
Yeah, most welcome, so welcome.